joining me for another process video today. Hope you enjoy it, and okay, we may as well get straight into it. So there I am, sorting out some papers, still working from my Surf's Up scrap kit, and I'm just having a look at the papers that I've got left and trying to decide what I want to do. That blue paper there with the little arrows on it, not sure if it's a chevron, but when it's on the page like that and it's big, it actually looks like it hurts your eyes, but in the end it actually doesn't look that bad. So I actually layer it up and you will see that no longer does it have the effect where it starts to make you feel dizzy. So here I am measuring, and I'm going to cut out the little piece under that blue mat, because you never know when I might just need a little piece of yellow paper, so I may as well cut that out and use that and add it along. Okay, so I've done that. Now I'm ready to stick things together. Peeling it all off. I should just refill my ATG, but I'm so used to that sticky tape that I don't even think twice anymore. Been using it for so long. I'm actually too lazy to fill the ATG, which is quite funny because it's been so long since I've had a new refill, I probably can't remember how to do it. So I just keep procrastinating on that, and I keep using these rolls of tape, which aren't very expensive, a couple of dollars a roll. So it's actually a very good way to scrapbook. So I've got these cards that you've seen me use in the cut apart sheet. It was the Photo Freedom cut aparts. So I found a couple that are suiting the layout, and I'm using them as a mat, and I want to add a little bit of pink. So I was checking which pink I liked, the light pink or that bolder pink, but the bolder pink was a little bit of a different colour pink to the tones that are actually on the card, so I've gone to the lighter pink, and then it doesn't clash. So you'll see me today using up some of those elements from the sticker sheet that I was really keen to use. I've been looking at them on every layout and haven't found a place for them yet, but today I use quite a few of them. So there I go, peeling things off, and I'm starting to have a look at where I might like to put them. That little cutout there at the top right was a little Project Life card, and it says, "Oh happy day." So I wanted to make sure that I put that on there. And okay, there, I'm trying to find the fourth photo corner. I could see 3, and I was thinking, why would they give you only 3 photo corners? Where is the fourth? And I'm looking, and eventually I found it, tucked smack bang in the middle. So they weren't being strange giving me 3. They were actually being normal and giving me 4. I just couldn't see it. So, but I found them eventually, the fourth one, and have put that there on the photo, and it just brings a little bit of blue out. So here, this little, I'm not even sure where that die cut came from, that little yellow die cut. I've been trying to use that on the last few layouts too, and have been unsuccessful. Some things are just not going to work. And so I pulled out this little container of Heidi Swapp acetate again, and looking to see whether anything fits there. A lot of them are words, and the page already has a lot of words going on in those cut apart cards, so I don't really want to add more words. And it was the same with these cards, the Project Life cards. I'm looking on them for some elements that I can cut out and use to embellish the page, but a lot of them have words, and it's already word heavy, so that's not really working for me today. So I found one little piece of, I think it was a Heidi Swapp and I had used a Project Life die to cut a little shape. So I want to try to incorporate that somewhere, and just having a look now through the Heidi Swap die cut sheet packs and trying to see what might work from there. There's a couple of things that I've picked. Some don't make it to the page. Actually, I'm not sure if any of that actually makes it to the page. Just having a look at my page now, and no, none of that actually makes it to the page. It's all just a matter of pulling it apart and seeing what's going to work. And sometimes you just can't tell until it's on the page, until you're looking at it. So I soon put them away, but I do cut that in half and try to place that in 2 separate places. And I actually think that I don't even end up using that either. So there you go. A lot of looking, a lot of fussing, and then I don't even use them. Go figure. But that's just scrapbooking. And here I go, cutting another piece that I don't use. But, you know, if I didn't cut it out and I didn't see what it would look like, I'd probably be thinking, oh, I should have just used that little typewriter. That would have been great. So it doesn't get used either, but I will keep them and I will use them on other projects. Okay, so I've pulled out my little box full of the Maggie Holmes die cuts, and they're going to make it onto the page. So most of the elements that I use now are actually from that sticker sheet, and that's what I will use to embellish. And I'm sorry if my voice sounds funny. I've been battling with a bit of a dry throat, and my voice goes in and out unexpectedly. So I'm sorry if there you go. A coughing fit. So I could tell my voice had started to disappear, and I knew that it was going to disappear and I would need to have a cough. So I'm really sorry for that, and you don't need to hear all that information, but you just got it. So I'm learning and I don't know how to delete it out. So the joys of learning something new. I promise I will learn how to delete inappropriate things and coughing sounds and all that sort of stuff. But we all do it, hey. Okay, so back to the layout. As Nancy would say, I digress. So my 16-year-old son knows Nancy to say that, and he has started to say that in our home, which is really quite funny. And he does it with a beautiful English accent as well. So anyway, back to the layout. So now I am pulling some of the border strips off the sticker sheet, and so I've used the yellow one at the top, and I've used that little pink chevron one down the bottom, and the little bit that was extra that I had cut, I just turned it around, put the pink up the top, and this time the yellow down the bottom. I hope that makes sense what I just said. Anyway, so just finding some little elements. That was a little banner, the nice hot pink, and so I'm adding that to the top. That little bird there, gorgeous little bird, has nothing to do with the layout as such. It's not about birds or anything, except for my daughter. Her nickname is Little Bird, so she's known as Little Bird, and so it's appropriate every now and then when I do a layout with her in it. Well, most of my layouts are with her in it, but if there's a little bird to be had, I will stick it on a layout somewhere and make it fit. It's really quite cute, and the colours were perfect, so that's what the little bird is for. So there's a little gap there to the right, and it had, no matter where I tried to put that little I love you photo strip, which I really liked, it left an awkward little gap at the bottom, which I wasn't quite sure how to fill. So when it doesn't work for you, you make it work. And so all I did was lower it down a little bit. there you go, committing to that, lowering it down and putting it under, and it looks like it's the perfect place for it. A little bit of the paper still shows to the right, and it just fits lovely. Adds a little bit of dimension there in the bottom corner. So what have I got now? A little camera was in the die cut sheet, in the die cut pack, and I've put a little bit of foam tape behind that. Actually, sorry, the camera was on the sticker sheet, so I've just put a little bit of foam tape underneath, and that's ready to put on when I find the right place for it. So that will go around the layout, to the top, to the bottom, to the side, to the other side, to the bottom, to the top again, like most things do. So that was a little flourish there off the sticker sheet as well. Had all these little white bits stuck in the gaps, so I had to pull them out. Look, I got stuck all over my fingers. I couldn't pull them off, but eventually I figured it out. So I'm trying to incorporate that into the layout somewhere whilst keeping the layout balanced. So I just keep that on my finger for a bit while I pull out some of these other little elements, because I want to put the camera up the top now to the left hand side, but I want to put some things under it. So it's there that I've pulled out that little pink piece of paper, because I was going to cover it completely anyway, so I may as well just keep that aside for another time. So is that flourish? Trying to keep that on there, and maybe I need it upside down. Maybe, no, look, so non-committal. I was like, put it on, pull it off, put it on that side, but then that made it too heavy on the right hand side. Put it on the bottom, balanced everything. So I really want to use it, but still not sure, still trying to add some different elements. I really wanted to use that little doily sticker as well, so I've cut that in half, and I will make that work somewhere. So I put it there. No, didn't like it there, made too much of a gap under the bird. So it's just a matter of, like I say, fiddling around, fussing around until you're happy with it. I know that it can be frustrating to watch, and you might be saying, no, why did you move it? Put it back. It was great there. But, you know, we all see things at different times, and sometimes when you're the third person watching, you know, you see something that I don't necessarily see, but you're not there to tell me, leave it there. So it really is just going on my own judgment and moving things around until I'm happy to keep them. So just like this blue feather, I really wanted to use the blue feather, but no matter where I tried to put it, it was not going to work. So may as well just give up on that idea and use the feather for a project at another time. So same, trying to use that little flower there, but it's not going to work. So I think that I'm pretty much finished. I'm going to add a few little tiny butterflies, a few tiny little stickers, and what else have we got? I think there's a little love life, there it goes, little love life arrow, which I'm trying to find the right place for that, and I end up putting that up there. And I'm not quite sure about the strip of blue, leaving it blank at the top, and I'm looking through my sticker sheets, seeing if there's a little word label that I can put on there, and I find one that says such a special day. So I just fill in that little gap up there, and that finishes it off for me, except for some brads. I had won this little packet of brads, and I'm not a big fan of brads just because they are a pain to use. I would much rather flare or enamel dots that just have the sticky back on them, and I find brads really hard to get in. And there I am, I've lost my little pokey tool, so I'm like, it was just in front of me 2 seconds ago, but it wasn't there. So I've just pulled out my craft knife and I'm cutting a hole, which actually worked out better because the pokey tools make a little hole, but these brads have big prongs on them, and so therefore the holes never seem big enough. And no matter where I put the hole and I put the brads through, they're never quite where I want them, so I have to maneuver them and move them over a little bit. So they look good, I love them, they look gorgeous, they are just a little bit more fiddly to use. But they are quite cheap for how many you get in a packet, so which is pretty good. I should stop complaining and just use the brads that I have. And that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to pull out my ink and start doing my splatters. You'll see that one of my splatters goes big and blodgy, but it is what it is. I love my black ink, and so every layout ends with my black splatters. Oh, but before I do that, just putting a bit of washi tape on the back of the brads so that it doesn't damage the layout that I'll put in my album behind it. Okay, so here's my ink. So it must be about time for me to say goodbye. Thank you for watching another video with me, and thank you for your support, and it's great to have you, and thank you for all the links for your blogs and for your YouTube's channels. I've been enjoying them, and yeah, keep linking me up and let me watch and enjoy too. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!